Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of One Mic Conversations with me, Skittzo, and my mother.
K. Sands.
Today we're gonna go over the normal stuff. Eventually, we'll add more and more things. Have a conversation, add more stuff. We'll go over Thursday night picks. Pick for today, Sunday, October 29th, 2023. Dreams. The one that my mother picked for today was Prize. And the word of the day we'll be going over. And the Goosebumps episode, Go Eat Worms. Like I said, we'll make our picks, which we'll start with the picks that we're going to make for Sunday today. Actually, you picked the Bucks, with the Bills versus the Bucks this past Thursday. You had picked the Bucks, and
Yes,
I had picked
I
the
did.
Bills. So I'm 1-0 so far before we make the picks today and go over them later on. Okay, so first up, Texans versus Panthers, Mom.
Panthers.
I got the Panthers.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the Texans, actually. Okay. Next up, Rams versus Cowboys.
Rams.
So will I. I hate the Cowboys. They might actually win, but I hate the Cowboys. Vikings versus Packers.
Vikings.
Vikings. I'm going to go with the Vikings as well. Okay. Saints versus Colts.
Colts.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Saints. Okay. All right. Pats versus Dolphins.
Pats.
Pats. I went with the Dolphins. Okay. Jets at Giants. Of course, the Giants.
Yes, the Giants.
Okay. Tyrod Taylor's playing today. Also, we're actually recording during the Giants game. We're Tommy DeVito, Tyrod Taylor. Last I saw, we had we turned off TV and anything. Last I saw that Tyrod Taylor got hurt as well, and Tommy DeVito is in. I don't know how he's playing because I'm not watching it right now. But if he gets hurt, they have nobody else.
Yeah, in that case, what do they do?
I heard them say that it would be Saquon Barkley in a wildcat formation, probably constantly. So, back to the picks. Sorry, Jags versus Steelers.
Jaguars.
So did I. Okay. Falcons versus Titans.
Falcons.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons too, actually. Okay. Eagles versus Commanders.
Commanders.
Commanders. So did I. I don't want the Eagles to win, so. All the teams in the division lose and the Giants win. It's better for the Giants.
Well, that would be good if that happened.
Yeah. All right, Browns and Seahawks. I'm going with. Who are you going with?
Seahawks.
Going with the Browns. I got the Seahawks. Ravens at Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Cards. I'm going with the Ravens. Kansas City at Broncos.
Kansas City.
So I'm going with Kansas City as well. All right. Bengals at 49ers.
Bengals.
Yeah, so am I. Oh yeah. One other pick on Monday night. I forgot to ask you. Raiders versus the Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions.
Yeah, me too. I mean, even though they lost last week, and got shut out by the Ravens.
I think that maybe they'll win this game. At least I hope they will.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty good. They're 5-2. So it's not like their season's over already compared to the usual every season, their season being over. So, they have an opportunity this season, and maybe they'll actually, because the last time they were 6-2, they ended 8-8. And this was years ago when John Kitna was their quarterback, I think. So that was years ago. So,
well, I hope they do good.
Yeah. All right. So the dreams, the word you picked out was prize. What do you think prize means?
I think it means that maybe there's something that you have wanted. Maybe you were in a contest and you're hoping you win that prize, or even lotto. Maybe you played lotto and you're thinking, oh, maybe I could win that.
Yeah, because I mean, look how much the lotto has gone up the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Did you ever see, when you were growing up, when you were a kid, even as an adult, years ago, did you ever think it would go to $1 billion?
No, not ever.
I mean, it's unbelievable, and it keeps going. It's constant. It's not like once a year or once every couple of years. It'll happen now, and then all of a sudden, 2-3 months later, a month later, it'll be at over $1 billion again.
I know.
Do you think it's possible? Did it get to $2 billion yet, or no?
No, I don't think it got to $2 billion. I think it was over $1 billion.
Yeah, they've been over $1 billion quite a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, but
two.
I don't think it made it to 2 yet. It would be something if it did make it to 2 billion.
If it got to $2 billion, would the person then get $1 billion?
Perhaps.
Is it 30% or 50%? I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna have to look that up at some point. Just in case I win the lottery.
Yeah.
So that way I know. If I know that ahead of time, then I know how much money I'm gonna get. So, all right. The dream prize means, if you dream of, for a prize, is to dream of receiving a prize denotes that what you desire lies within your grasp. If someone else is receiving the prize, you feel unworthy to achieve your desires.
Oh, that's a surprising read there.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Now, the prize getting is understandable. I'm surprised somebody would dream about somebody else getting a prize, but to me, you're unworthy. I guess it does work, because if in your own dream the big prize is going to someone else, you feel unworthy, or maybe I would think either maybe unworthy or maybe you're not ready for the prize yet. Yeah. Like, for instance, somebody that's maybe for a promotion, right? Well, if they're up for a promotion, or there's a promotion possibly to get, then maybe they feel uncomfortable. They won't be able to do the job. They won't be able to have, not the initiative, but maybe that they're not ready yet. Yeah. Like anything else. It's life. Yeah. Sometimes
you get what you want, and sometimes
you don't. So,
you don't.
So, all right, moving on. Recently, we had word of the day. Word of the day for today is Hamish. It's spelled Hamish, but it's pronounced Hamish, apparently, from what I read. It means homey, cozy, and unpretentious. That's it. I didn't read I didn't read it I didn't use it in a sentence or see it being used in a sentence when I looked it up. So, that's the word of the day for today. So that's different.
It sure is.
All right. So next, we have what we watched was the Goosebumps episode, Go Eat Worms. We watched the new one, the new series, like we've been doing, and then we watched the older episode. Now, again, this is continuing from things that occurred that night at a Halloween party, because remember, they went into the basement on Halloween that day. So all these things are coming from whatever that was in that basement. So now, from the last episode, I think was it the Cuckoo Clock of Doom? Was that it? Yeah. Yeah. One of the parents or whatever was on the phone with one of the kids, or her daughter, saying not to trust the other parents. Now, this one has to do with the blonde-haired woman's kid. I believe her name is Nora. She was the one that was in Lucifer and played the psychiatrist. Remember?
Yeah, I do think her name is Nora.
Okay, and her son Lucas. Now she's the one, right, that's been trying to tell everyone, even the other parents, that something's going on. That Biddle, I think his name is, right, that he's back.
Yes.
You know, the kid from the first 5 minutes of the first episode, right?
Yep. Yeah, she's been trying to talk to them and say what's going on, and the other parents are trying to stop her from talking about anything.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then her son eats worms from the party. It's him. Him and like his father, I guess, had died recently, and that's why he's doing all that stupid stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So he's in his room. And no. He's at whatever business they have. It's like a nook, or what is it?
Like a diner? Little, some kind of diner.
A little diner or something that she has.
A little diner.
Yeah. So she is actually having an affair. Well, no, she's not having an affair because she's a widow. So she's not married anymore. So she's, right?
Well, technically, yeah, but he's married, and so he's actually having an affair. She's just.
Now, I thought that he's married, but I thought.
He is. I believe he's married to, is it Margot? Is that her name?
Margaret,
I think.
Something like that. Yeah, so maybe. Yeah, I know he's married to her mother, but are they maybe separated, or are they actually married?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have to double check on that, because that I wasn't sure of, because like, you know, I'm so paying attention to the kids, I'm not paying attention. Well, you're paying attention to the other parents, but he wasn't involved in that initial meeting to threaten Nora.
No,
so
I don't think so.
Without him being there, you didn't realize that he might be
involved with her.
Well, yeah, because her mother, Margaret's mother, is the one who said, "Don't trust the other parents," right?
Yeah,
or don't listen to them, or something, right?
I think she is.
So I would think so. Either he married her, she married him after the events of this, or he might have been around back then. But the spirit that's in Justin Long's body, that character's body, doesn't seem to have a big problem with him. So either he doesn't know that he's married to Nora, or he just wasn't around back then. Oh, no, he's not married to Nora. He's married to Margaret's mother.
Yeah.
So he must not have been around back then.
It's possible.
So she might have married later on, after all that happened. Well, of course, she's not going to marry when she's a teenager, but she married later on in life, and he must have came along later on in life, way after that, and didn't grow up there, maybe.
Well, they have to look into that, because it is.
Well, they'll probably show more, because what happened was, you know, Lucas was at the little diner thing, whatever they have, and I think he was in the shed looking for something, comes out, and he sees his mother and Margaret's father kissing, and then he
went and he recorded them kissing, and then
that's right.
His mother tried to talk to him, but he didn't want to talk to her too much, and he kind of left.
Yeah, because he asked her, you know, so what'd you do?
Right.
How was it today? Where were you this morning? And
she didn't really say anything.
She didn't say anything, and he knew she was lying, because he just, like you said, videotaped it. And then after that, he went
to see Margaret, I think.
Yeah.
And he decided he was going to show and tell her what he found out. And so he did.
You make it sound, show and tell. You make it sound like she's going to stand up in front of the class and go, see, Margaret? See everybody?
But he showed her what he recorded, and she looked at it, and she became upset. And they were both kind of upset about what they saw.
And that's that's when the whole worms thing came about, right?
Yes.
Because he was trying to make her laugh
And so, yeah, he was making like he was going to eat a worm, but somehow
it jumped right on his face and went right in his nose.
Yes. And he didn't know what had happened, actually.
Yeah. What would you do if that happened to you?
Okay, number one, I wouldn't be holding a worm for it to happen.
Yeah. Do you remember there was this movie? I don't know what the name of it is. It was a movie, and it was a bully, and he was holding this kid against a locker, right? And he picked his nose, and he wiped it on his face. Do you remember ever seeing that? I remember. Me and you were sitting there it was years ago, and we were watching it, and you just went, ugh.
I know. That's disgusting.
I wasn't expecting it to happen in the movie where the other kid picks his nose and wipes it on his face. Either that was supposed to happen, or the kid playing the bully was in the moment and said, "That's what a bully would do." Because even the look, I could have sworn the look on that kid's face was. Yeah. So any of the people I think were in the scene too kind of had like not expecting or he was told to do it, but that I remember that. So now. After that, with the thing, he went to sleep. She left. He went to sleep. Oh, did he say he wasn't feeling well all of a sudden, or was that later on?
I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I know that.
No, wait. He left because she went to talk to her father. They were going to confront him or something, and the other kid was there. The one who plays quarterback was there, and then he all of a sudden didn't feel well, and he went home.
Yeah.
And then I think that later on that night, he went to sleep, and that's when all the worms left left that and went into his body.
Yeah.
And then he became kind of like not himself, a little psychotic.
Yeah.
And did all these he did those extreme type of little stunt things, like a jackass kind of type of thing. But this was different. He did it, and then he broke something or ripped something, and the worms put him back together, his arm back together, his hand, something like that.
Yeah, he had
regenerated his.
Put his hand into the locker and slammed it on it, and his fingers looked all weird, and then they started being better.
Yeah, because the worms took control, but you could see the worms crawl in his body or whatever. Yeah. So, and it changed his personality. He acted all crazy,
a little different.
And Margaret confronted her father, didn't she, about that?
Yes. Well, actually, what had happened was the girlfriend of the kid who got the answers from Margaret on the test.
Yeah, to continue to play football.
Right. The girlfriend wanted to know, why are you so chummy?
Well, they were friends.
Margaret?
In the show, they've been friends since they were kids.
And he finally came out and said, well, she helped me on the test. So she said, oh, so you cheated? And he goes, well, yeah. So
and his girlfriend being mad at him just for having a friend since he was a kid, went and told Margaret's father. But then when Margaret's father confronted her about the cheating, she turned around and confronted him about his cheating.
Yes. Yep.
Because if they're married still and there's no separation or anything like that, I can't remember what the situation was between them, then he is cheating, and that's not good. But yeah, she confronted her about her cheating on a test, and he confronted him about him cheating on her mother. So yeah. And then a little while later, he was Lucas, I think his name was. Yeah. He was going to do a jump, and then his mother talked him out of it. Nora talked him out of it, and then the worms started to come out of his mouth, and there were tons of them.
He threw up
he threw it all up. And then they tried to go back into him, and he ran, and they all started running, and it became this big, huge worm cloud. Yeah.
Worm thing. And then it was chasing Lucas on his bike, and then Nora and Margaret got into Nora's car trying to get away, and it just went after those both, both Lucas and his mother in the car, and then they went into this kind of
factory or something like
some
that.
kind
like,
of factory.
It looked like was it like a packing plant or a meat or
something like
or a slot
that
or something? It used to be something, and it followed them in there, and finally they got the thing.
Yeah, because it was this spinning thing. I think
it chops stuff up, or it grabs. It's like it's basically the kind of concept of if you put a tree limb in a chipper.
Yeah,
and it goes out. It was like it was in a factory.
Yeah,
and it went through that, and cops started coming because they actually broke into that place trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
So at the end, the cops come, and Nora says, "You know what? I'm just going to tell you what happened." And next thing you know, she's behind the door saying, "I'm not lying. It's true. He's a spirit," or something like that. And the camera turns around, and it's Margaret's mother?
Yeah.
She's a doctor, right? Or something, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Is she the doctor? Or is it that other one, or that other girl with the haunted mask one? Is her mother a doctor?
I thought that was Margot's mother.
Maybe.
Thought.
We'll find out because we're going to watch the next episode anyway.
But you know what else? Now, I don't know if this will have anything
she's going to lock her up. She's locking her up.
I think so she won't talk. But when that worm thing was coming through that chipper, all the pieces were going into the water. I think the river or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means anything
if that's
or not.
Drinking water, that's going to be interesting. I mean, wow. I think this is episode 4. I think Goosebumps Go Eat Worms. The Worms episode is episode 4 of the season series, whatever it is. I don't know if it's going to have a part 2 yet. I haven't looked it up, but I mean that's interesting. The fact that oh man, that big worm thing. What would you do if a big worm thing like that was chasing you?
I would hope that I wouldn't have to experience that.
So it's very interesting to see what happened, because at the end of that, right? Didn't he go looking? Justin Long's character, I can't remember his name. Biddle, we'll call him Biddle.
Oh yeah.
He went in. Did he go into Nora's house or that shed? Because he found the eye or something and said, "Nora has him." Right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's Slappy, the dummy from the book series. It's a big contrast compared to the original 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Worms 30 years ago was about, it's different. It's high school kids now, probably in their junior or senior year. 30 years ago, it was junior high and the beginning of high school, it seems.
Yeah, it does.
So what the original one from 30 years ago, or the other series, universe, since they're doing those different universe things nowadays. In that one, it was a kid who had a bunch of worms, didn't treat them very nice or very well, and would put worms and scare his sister and all that other stuff. So basically using the word worms, mistreating them, and the worms were getting mad. And all of a sudden, the worms were showing up in certain places, but he was being blamed for them.
Yeah,
he was. Showing up. And then at some point, in the original one, there's this big, gigantic, giant worm. They were trying to eat him or something.
Yeah.
And trying to eat him and pull him underneath and saying, what was it? Did it say anything? Like you're staying or something like that? Or was it just...
I don't think I heard anything.
Maybe it was just...
Oh, yeah. You...
Or no, it scribbled something. Did it scribble something?
Yeah, I think. Or it sounded like... maybe a voice, but maybe not. Maybe more of a sound.
Because I thought I saw something scribbled in that cave in the original version.
Yeah, it might have been.
And then this big, huge, gigantic one worm, chased him and tried to eat him or something like that. And he finally made his way out. And the reason why the worm went back into whatever hole was because his sister, whoever it was, didn't see it. They were holding up that bird. Remember, birds fly down. And they eat worms. They fly down and go to get the worms.
Oh, yeah. So the worm
got scared. The big worm got scared and went down.
And then the kid seemed to be nice to his sister after that.
Sister and worms. And he took the worms. He let them go.
Yeah.
Then he went fishing. He said, fishes don't feel. And then all of a sudden, the fish got mad at him, pulled him in the water. He was like, no, okay. So, let me go, or something like that. I won't hurt fish or whatever,
Yeah.
which I wasn't expecting at that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part, but yeah, I mean, it's a big contrast, but it was the original one. I think was more about teaching lessons.
Yeah,
like
it
that
does
one
seem
was
that.
how you treat a creature or something like that. But this one is just someone that's really pissed off. Probably be careful how you treat a person when they're alive.
Yeah.
That seems to be what this is possibly going to be at the end.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So that might be how it is at the end of this first season. Where, like I said, this was episode, I believe it was episode 4. All right, so the next episode that we're going to be watching, let me look it up. Type. All right, let's see. Goosebumps 2023 TV series. The next one is episode 5. So I was right. It is episode 4 that we just watched. Episode 5, Reader Beware.
Reader beware?
So a book.
Could be.
That's the only
or
thing I
a
can think.
sign or something.
A book, maybe a sign, a magazine, a letter, a diary. You read open up a diary or a book.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty interesting to see what that'll be about. So is that what you think? What do you think? A diary, a book, a sign? What do you think is probably it?
I think more a book or a sign.
Okay.
Maybe the person's walking somewhere.
Yeah, and see something, or goes into a store, a bookstore.
Or something.
Yeah, I can't remember really that much. If I see the episode or the beginning of it, the start of it, or something of it, I'll probably remember it, as I see it, because 30 years ago I was a kid.
Yeah.
But that's a possibility. So, yeah. Unfortunate news today was the passing of Matthew Perry, dead at 54 years old. Of course, you know him from Friends, as I do as well, and some other stuff. But it's very surprising that he died and the way he died. He apparently, he drowned.
And, yeah, he was found in a jacuzzi, I believe.
Yeah, his jacuzzi at his residence, right?
I believe so.
Makes me wonder. I mean, what's eerie about it too is that he had posted a picture of him, I think, in actually a jacuzzi. I think it might even been that one. It's surprising. Only 54 years old.
I know, that's young.
Yeah. See, I thought because they had a reunion last year of this show, I figured they were going to have maybe like a Frasier thing where they have 10 episodes and have that sort of thing go on.
It would have been nice.
Yeah, but apparently that won't be happening unless they do it and they, mention him or his death, or they get together for his funeral.
Yeah.
I don't know. Be. That might work. Unfortunately, Matthew Perry has died, but to like a send-off, they get together for a 10-episode thing for his funeral.
Could be.
That's a way to say goodbye. I mean, the character was funny.
Yeah, he was.
So
yeah,
and Matthew Perry was funny. I mean, he was on other things as well. When did you first start watching it? Was it on for a while? Did you watch reruns first, or did you watch from the beginning?
I think I mostly watched reruns. When it first came out, I didn't watch it. I started watching it sometime later.
So what, you watched reruns and then caught up with the reruns and then watched?
Yeah, I became interested in it. At first, I didn't think I'd like it or anything, but then when I started to watch it, I liked it. I enjoyed the show.
Was the show reminiscent? Because I know you were their age, more in the 80s probably, right?
Yeah.
Like in the late 70s, early 80s? Is that when you were around the age of the characters were supposed to be? Like 25, 24, 26?
Yeah, maybe, because I think they're not too much older or younger than me. I think.
Well, no, none of them are older than you. They're all younger.
I thought.
No,
maybe,
none of them are older than you.
No.
How, you're almost 70. How can any of them be older than you? You're almost 70. He's 54. I think he might have been the oldest. I think I wonder if he was the oldest. Or no, it was
Courtney
swimmer.
Cox?
No, did he was swimmer? I'm not sure, but did what they were going through, did it reminisce with you back then when you started watching it, like when you were younger that age, or not really? Because I know you were that age probably more in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, not really, but
it was reminiscent of the time that we were in at the time, so it was funny.
Yeah, and it was really a good show. I liked it, and
It lasted 10 years.
Yeah, and Chandler and Monica ended up having a relationship and getting married.
Yeah, which was surprising. I think it threw people off because it was always Ross and Rachel.
Yes.
So I think that threw people off.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with Janice.
Oh, yeah.
The Chandler Bing character, I think, is one of those characters that I think will live on, like a Frasier, a Frasier one. Who else? Who else would have that? Who else would have that? What character is like him that has that known character? Like, all of them were known, but Chandler Bing, I think, stuck out the most.
In a way, yeah. I'm trying to think of.
Would it be Frasier?
Maybe. I didn't really like watching Frasier.
You like Cheers,
much.
though.
Yeah, Cheers I liked.
Well, it was an ensemble. It was basically the same thing as Friends. It was an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
They were all in every episode. It was a bar, but they were in every episode together.
I know, and it always took place in the bar.
Always. Well, there were occasionally it'd be at a home, but the majority of it, probably 99% of it, was in the bar.
Yeah.
But back to Matthew Perry. I mean, Gunther died within a couple of years. I think he had cancer. It's odd because sometimes when this happens, a couple start to go all of a sudden from a series. You ever notice that? One will go, then another a couple of years later, a few years later, an accident or something like that. But, it's very unfortunate. I remember him. He was in Fools Rush In with Salma Hayek.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
He was in Serving Silverman, I think.
Was it? I didn't see that.
That was with... so he was in some stuff. And, they were... The Friends cast, those six... The group of six like that, they became very, very close. And they went to the executives, wherever it was being filmed or owned the show, and they wanted to be paid equally because it was an ensemble cast. So in order for them to, I think they were going to give one person more, and they said, no, we are all contributing to the show. So they each got paid like $1 million an episode at one point. So it was all equal between them. No one, outshine the other in financial gain when concerning the show and everything, except for, other people. I'm talking about the cast itself, David Schwimmer,
Courtney Cox,
Jennifer Aniston, Matt LeBlanc, Lisa Kudrow, and of course Matthew Perry. So yeah, that's odd, huh? Matthew Perry, Luke Perry was from an old show back in the early 90s, and Matthew Perry too.
Oh yeah. That one. Oh,
that was surprising when he died, because he died with a heart attack. Luke Perry? He was 90210, right?
I don't quite remember.
But he was 90210, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
he was.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing is gone. So, we might not get that a reunion show or series for a season, like an 11th season to, where everybody's at now. Yeah. Oh, rest in peace to Matthew Perry, huh?
Yes, rest
Yeah.
in peace to him.
Yeah. So I haven't read his book or anything like I said. I think I said that, or I haven't. But apparently he details a lot of stuff and struggle. So, all right. Unfortunately, stuff happens. Yeah, 54. Matthew Perry dead at 54 years old. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of One Mic Conversations. This has been Skittzo with my mother.
Kay Sands.
Another episode of One Mic Conversations, and we're out.